In the remote and mystical lands of Arunachal Pradesh, where the mighty Brahmaputra River winds through the rugged mountains and dense forests, lies a sacred site known as Parshuram Kund. This Kund, or holy pool, is not just a natural wonder but a place steeped in ancient legend, where the echoes of a powerful tale of sin, penance, and redemption resonate through time. The story begins with Parshuram, a revered sage and the sixth incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Parshuram was born to the noble Brahman sage Jamadagni and his virtuous wife, Renuka. From a young age, Parshuram was known for his extraordinary strength, devotion to his parents, and unwavering adherence to dharma, righteousness. However, it was a tragic and defining moment in his life that would ultimately lead to the creation of the sacred Kund. One day, sage Jamadagni, a man of great spiritual power, found himself in a fit of rage. He had learned that his wife, Renuka, had been momentarily distracted by the sight of a handsome prince while fetching water from the river. Though her thoughts had remained pure, Jamadagni, in his anger, perceived it as a lapse in her chastity. In a moment of intense fury, he ordered his sons to kill their mother as punishment. Parshuram, the youngest and most devoted of the brothers, was torn between his love for his mother and his duty to obey his father. Bound by his dharma as a son, Parshuram reluctantly took up his axe, a divine weapon bestowed upon him by Lord Shiva, and beheaded his mother. The other sons, horrified by their father's command, had refused, and their hesitation only deepened Jamadagni's wrath. However, Jamadagni's anger soon subsided, and he was overcome with grief and guilt. Recognizing the extreme nature of his command and moved by Parshuram's unwavering obedience, the sage offered his son a boon, a wish to atone for the dreadful deed. Without hesitation, Parshuram asked for his mother's life to be restored and for his brothers to be forgiven. Impressed by Parshuram's selflessness, Jamadagni granted his wish. Renuka was brought back to life, her virtue untouched, and the family was reunited. Yet, despite this miraculous restoration, Parshuram could not escape the burden of guilt and sin that weighed heavily on his soul. He had committed the gravest of acts, matricide, and though his mother had been revived, the stain of that sin lingered. Tormented by remorse, Parshuram sought a way to purify himself and seek redemption for his actions. He traveled across the land, visiting holy sites and performing severe penances, but nothing seemed to alleviate his inner turmoil. Finally, his journey led him to the wild and untamed regions of the modern-day Arunachal Pradesh, where the Brahmaputra River flowed with a primal force, cutting through the rocky terrain. In a moment of intense anguish, Parshuram stood at the edge of the river, his divine axe in hand. With all his strength, he hurled the axe into the river, seeking to rid himself of the sin that had plagued him. The impact of the axe was so powerful that it split the river in two, creating a deep pool where the waters swirled and churned with a mystical energy. This pool, formed by the divine weapon of Parshuram, became known as Parshuram Kund. It was said that the waters of the Kund were imbued with the power to cleanse the soul of all impurities, just as Parshuram had sought to cleanse himself of his sin. The legend quickly spread, and the Kund became a revered pilgrimage site, drawing devotees from far and wide who came to bathe in its holy waters and seek spiritual purification. To this day, Parshuram Kund remains a place of deep religious significance, especially during the Makar Sankranti festival when thousands of pilgrims brave the challenging terrain to reach the sacred pool. They believe that a deep in the icy waters of the Kund will wash away their sins and grant them moksha, liberation from the cycle of birth and death. The legend of Parshuram Kund is more than just a tale of divine intervention. It is a powerful reminder of the complexities of duty, the burden of guilt, and the possibility of redemption. Parshuram's story, with all its tragedy and eventual purification, continues to inspire and resonate with those who seek solace and spiritual cleansing in the holy waters of the Kund. As the sun rises over the mountains of Arunachal Pradesh, casting a golden light on the tranquil waters of Parshuram Kund, the legend lives on, woven into the fabric of the land and the hearts of those who believe in the power of penance and the grace of forgiveness.